Yo, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about what it's like to be on D-bol. So I got the idea to do this video from watching More Plates, More Dates, who is currently doing a series on what it's like to be on, insert name of steroid here. And his videos are very entertaining. He knows way more than anybody that I've ever seen or read when he talks about steroids. So this is not going to be as in-depth or thorough as him. I definitely defer to him for any sort of, steroid information. But this is just my personal experience from what it was like for me to take D-bol. So if you want more information, definitely go check out his channel. He is a very educated person on the subject. So that said, I did a lot of, I don't know, was it a lot of D-bol? I took D-bol for a long time back in 2018. Starting in around July, I took it roughly until maybe February of the next year. So I took it for like a good 6 months. And I took other stuff as well because I placed this big order from China on Alibaba, which is generally like if I want to order chemicals that are a little bit more expensive because they're a little bit less mainstream, so the markup is higher, then I'll get them from Alibaba. But anyway, I ordered D-bol and a couple other things, and D-bol is just wow, like wow times 10. So basically here's what I experienced from D-bol, right? The main I guess like the underlying effect of D-bol, if I had to sum it up in one sentence, is that you're just like in the best mood ever, freakish strength, and you don't need to rest in between sets. I remember the first couple times I took it, I went to go visit my parents in California, and they had this little gym, this little like tiny gym, neighborhood gym, whatever, across the street from our house. And, they live in this place where there's a lot of old people, and it's not like a young person's gym, you know what I mean? Anyway, they had free weights there, and I remember I would take D-bol pre-workout, and I would go to the gym and I would lift way more than I would normally lift, and I would do way more reps than I would normally be able to do. And when I would be done with the set, I would like stop for a second and then just do another set right away. Like you don't need to rest when you take D-bol. It's pretty crazy. And not only that, you feel really good. You're just in a really good mood. Like they should use it for an antidepressant, or, they should put it in alcohol or something. I mean, obviously not, but it makes you feel that good. Like if people say to take Phenibut before you go out and socialize. No, man, you should take D-bol for real. Like and I was taking a very low dose. I was taking 10 milligrams, like nothing close to what I see recommended for people doing cycles, which is 30, 50 milligrams. And they take that sometimes multiple times per day, which is just insane to me. Like I can't even imagine what that would feel like. I don't think I've ever taken more than 25 milligrams. And you don't even need that much is the crazy thing. Like 10 milligrams and you are good, you are fine. You do not need any more than that. Yeah, so like for working out, it's honestly, thinking about it now, it's probably my favorite out of everything that I've tried. Well, maybe it's not my favorite, but in terms of how it makes you train, I don't think I've ever actually experienced anything that will give me a better workout than D-bol. Because you're just so much stronger, and you are able to train for so much longer, and you don't need to rest. So it's kind of like the perfect storm. Now there are some, obviously there's side effects. There's no free rides, unfortunately, in the world. But I guess the two main side effects is, number one, it makes you retain water. Like you get bloated, right? Like when after I was in California visiting my parents, I ended up moving to New York. I lived there for maybe 6 months, and I was, was it a cycle? I guess we could call it a cycle. I was on a cycle the entire time. And this was also coincidentally right when I started kind of getting into the snake diet and eating raw meat and like all that stuff. So I would fast for a couple days, not eat anything, and go work out, at the gym every single day on D-bol and Anavar and like whatever else I was taking. And I still wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to lose that bloat, right? Which is strange. Anybody who's fasted before, you know that when you don't eat for a few days, you like get out all your water and you just look very lean and very dry. But on D-bol, I don't know, man, my body just did not want to get rid of that water. So that was kind of annoying. It's kind of like, I don't know, is it ironic, I guess, where you're training so hard and you're just willing to push yourself so much harder than you normally do, but you're not really able to reap the benefit of it because you're retaining so much water and you're so bloated. And this was on a baby dose, 10 milligrams, like nothing. So, there's that. I guess the second side effect would be estrogen, like a lot of aromatization, right? So the only time I've ever gotten what's called a gyno flare-up has been when I was taking D-bol. And fortunately, I had an AI on hand that I didn't take. I didn't feel like I needed it. I was just one of these things like, oh, I guess I don't need it. I feel fine. But then one day I remember I woke up and like my nipple was hurting. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with my nipple? And I would touch it and it would hurt like really bad. It would be, what's the best way that I can say it? Like, when you have like a really big pimple kind of, and it's not the type of pimple that you can like pop and you touch it and it just fucking hurts, like almost like an ingrown hair, like a really, well, that's probably not a good explanation. Anyway, it was swollen and it was sore. And I was like, oh, this is really fucking bad. This is gyno. Anyway, I stopped everything and I took my AI and it was gone in like a day, so that is, that was easily taken care of. And from what I understand, like, in general, I keep my doses low of pretty much everything, right? I respond very well to any sort of substance. It's just how I am. I just respond well to everything, basically. I don't need a high dose. So I stopped everything for a few days and, took my AI and then it was fine. But I can imagine how people, if like, let's say you commit to doing a 12-week cycle. When I was doing all this stuff, I was just like, okay, I'm going to take it until I feel like not taking it anymore. Not the healthiest way to do things, but it was my first time, and I like to experiment with different things to see how I respond, as opposed to just following like a set regimen of like, okay, do this for 4 weeks and then this and then this. Probably not the smartest idea, but I wanted to experience it for myself. But anyway, I could see how if people are taking it for 12 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and they're like, oh, I got to take it for this set amount of time, and they experience some sort of, nipple swelling, how that could turn into, actual breast tissue that doesn't go away after a couple of weeks. I felt that. I was like, oh, no, this is, we're not doing this anymore. I'm taking a break from this. So that was that. And then I guess the other thing I kind of mentioned earlier is that you're just in such a good mood all the time. Okay, maybe that's not fair. You're not in a good mood all the time. You're in a good mood for about 3 or 4 hours until it wears off. And then you kind of like go back to normal. But honestly, like it is pretty much, it's just like, it's the best antidepressant I've ever taken in my, life. You feel so good all the time. Well, like I said, until it wears off. So that's basically it. That's my super non-scientific explanation on D-bol. You have a ton of energy in the gym, crazy strength gains. I feel like I healed faster also, but yeah, and puffiness and really good mood. Cool. So that's my little video on that. Is that interesting to you guys? Do you want to see more videos of this nature? What it feels like to be on substance X? If you do, let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.